Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to another Warcraft replay here. Just waiting for the loading screen. There we go. Yeah, it's been a while. This is going to... I'll treat this as a ladder game, even though it's technically a tournament game. Yeah, being rather inconsistent with these kind of things, but I just really wanted to cast this. This wasn't actually requested, so I might as well just treat it like a ladder game. Let's just forget about all the external complications like the backstory or whatever. Pretty sure there's not much backstory here. This is from the Gold League, and yeah, we have 1-2-0 spawning in as the should be red. There we go, red undead player in the top right. He will be facing off against Xixi, the blue and night elf player in the bottom left. It's been a while since I casted him. October, I believe, is the last time I casted Xixi, and yeah, not really the reason why I chose this particular replay. I actually took a look at the hero picks, and yes, it's almost like the good old days when like 1.26-ish days, something like that, back when Warcraft 3 actually had no patches, no updates whatsoever until like the big one. I'm not sure if 1.26 was the big one or if it was 1.27, but yeah, Warcraft 3 was in a very, very long state of not being touched by Blizzard at all, and yeah, this game, or at least the preview, kind of reminded me of that. Either way, 1-2-0 spawning, going for the ghoul opening, it seems. I think ghoul opening? No, we only have 3 ghouls. Tid opening here with the Death Knight first. And on the other hand, Xixi is going to go for the Demon Hunter first, which is one of the reasons why I chose this particular game. We don't see the Demon Hunter at all these days, mainly because he's just... It's very hard to compare him with the Keeper. When the Keeper kind of does a whole lot of things in like all stages of the game, Demon Hunter kind of needs to be used effectively, and of course needs to get the levels to become relevant later on. So yeah, we don't usually see him all too much these days, although Mana Burn did get a little bit of a buff, I believe, this patch, but it seems like it's just not enough, seeing as how Keeper still consistently gets picked over him. But yeah, very quick to getting that level 2. It seems like he just needs one little extra push there. I believe the skeleton's not going to be the push that he needs. So I think Demon Hunter is just sitting around here. We are going to have a Death Coil, I believe, being used to kill a Wisp, instead of healing up the skeletons there, as yep, Demon Hunter does hit that level 2. Obviously it's not an important power spike for him right now, but it will basically be a stepping stone for him. Death Knight was gonna try and slip past through there, but it seems like he is now trapped. Archers are going to be shadow melded to keep him inside. Was actually not too sure if that archer was gonna give a little bit extra space there, but yeah, fully mana burned. The Death Knight is basically going to have to use that TP scroll now. There we go, he's gonna actually burn it relatively early, just not to waste any time. Of course, he is wasting his opponent's time, but at the same time, he's not really doing too much himself. Of course, his ghouls are going to be creeping it out at a long distance. It seems like he did actually go with a good number of ghouls, despite having the building layouts seem to be Tidish. But yeah, we're still producing those ghouls despite the graveyard being completed. Demon Hunter meets Death Knight yet again, and the Death Knight will be able to outrun the Demon Hunter thanks to the Unholy Aura. As I say that, actually, the Demon Hunter has boots himself, so looks to be pretty even despite Death Knight not having boots of his own. I am actually impressed that the Unholy Aura level 1 is enough to keep the Demon Hunter at bay. I always thought the Demon Hunter had pretty high movement speed, like base stats himself, but yeah, you can see him constantly getting stuttered there with the auto attack animation, and we have a Naga which coming out as the second hero. So reason number 2 as to why I picked this replay. Normally, Nagas were everywhere back in the day because Frost Arrows was just very oppressive to deal with. On top of Lich Frost Nova, which added even more slowing effect, as well as added burst. It was pretty good in kind of semi-locking down units. Panda comes out as the second hero as well. It does seem like we are back in time, to be honest. Although Panda does see a lot more play than I guess these other heroes would. But yeah, this seems very classic, like 1.25, 1.26-ish kind of hero composition here. But yeah, not looking like it's working out too well. Thankfully, this knight is out of mana, so he can't actually Death Claw to still to pick up the Demon Hunter. But yeah, not being too useful right now. Is going to eat a couple more Frost Arrows there from Sea Witch, and he should be out of there. Panda gonna clear out the Goblin Lab on this side of the map, and he will get himself Potion of Invulnerability, so that is gonna be 15 seconds there. It's alright, I guess. Never say no to an Invuln Potion, but yeah, would definitely like one of the health or mana stones because of that passive effect. I believe this illusion, it is an illusion, and it is going to spot out that this gold mine is not cleared out, so no expansion shenanigans here for Xixi. He is going to go straight into tier 3 and going for double enchant of lords. It seems we are going to have the first Dryad popping out here for himself. Meanwhile, over on 120's side,
our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Looks to be a standard Crypt Fiend statue / destroyers. Of course, this army comp hasn't exactly changed since those days, and yeah, it's basically like the only option Undead's had for quite some time. Of course, you can always add in the extra Banshee or two, or yeah, just you can add Banshees on the side just to answer whatever spell effects you want, but yeah, Undead's been consistently Crypt Fiend statue destroyer. And of course, yeah, Banshee is just a recent alteration to that. Nida, on the other hand, at least they've expanded. We've kind of lost the Double Ancient of Wind into Druids of Talons, but other than that, Mass Dryads is a personal favorite of mine. Dryad Bears seems to have gone down actually a lot in appearance, so yeah. We'll have to wait and see. We do have the couple of Dryads out right now. Olga Lord, not exactly sure who took the kill. It seems like the Demon Hunter was able to pick that up as he picks up Django of Endurance, as the Ancient of War is not going to get killed off. Or so I think. Ancient probably should run away. Nope, he's just going to give himself over to the Undead. There we go. Tiny bit of experience, but more importantly, that is just another building just not being able to contribute to Xixi's cause. We do have the Lich coming out as the final hero of 120 with the Overcorruption. Yeah, it's pretty standard here for 120. The Naga is definitely a nice touch, but so far she hasn't actually caught anything out.
Research
so yeah, there is that. And I'm pretty sure Frost Arrows don't work versus Dryad, so she will have to pick her targets to get the most value, I guess. Overseer trying to be taken out there, but it seems like the item is just going to go over to the Undead. As I say that, we are going to have a little bit of a dance here from both sides. Population right now is even, 47 for 120 and 46 for Xixi. The item is going to be Crystal Bowl. I think. Question mark. Okay. Crystal Ball's not that bad, but it's definitely not great of a drop either. We are gonna have the Druids of Claws actually making their appearance, so like I was saying, very reminiscent of the olden days, as we do have yeah, just a 1.25/26 game right now. Demon Hunter instead of Keeper, and Dryad Bears over just Mass Dryads or like Hippogriff Riders or something of those sorts. Mana burn onto the Lich, that is a level 2 mana burn, so it's going to take a huge chunk of mana out of that, but oh, we do have a Death Coil making its way. I'm not sure if the damage actually gets cancelled or not with the Preservation Staff, but yeah, the animation still definitely went through. 49 on both sides. Not looking great for Xixi, to be honest. The hero comp is obviously a lot better for the undead because of this triple nuke composition here. As you saw, the Magazine was actually adding the Fault Lightning in as well. But there we go with the mana burn there. That is going to pretty much be the Lich and DK out of mana. But yeah, it is the bears that are getting slaughtered by those destroyers in the air right now. And not enough Dryads to actually ward off that destroyer, which is going to be a bit problematic. We are going to have another bear bite the dust there thanks to another Fault Lightning. And trying his best with the Riverfires there, but he's just so restricted in casting that Drunken Haze because the Destroyer can actually absorb it. As we did have the Mana Burn trying to go for the kill on the Death Knight there, but a very nicely timed TP Scroll is going to save his life. We are going to have the Boneyard being placed down there for 1-2-0, so we are going to have Frost Worms as well. Definitely should add a lot more Dryads than Bears if you are in Xixi's shoes right now, because there's not that many Crypt Fiends to deal with or even worry about. Hell, even what is it? Dryad's Mountain Giant has proven to be a lot more popular than the old Bears Dryads. So interesting thought there. I believe this is an illusion. Yep. So it's not gonna do too much. It's gonna get abolished up and just die. No, it's gonna live for a little while. So a little extra value on that illusion there. Destroyer is just going to wipe out this Ogre Magi camp here. So hero-wise, we are, I think, 3 each. No, we're at 3-3-2 for 1-2-0, and we are only at 3-3, I believe, for Xixi. So yeah, hero advantage is definitely towards the undead player, and of course the synergy is there for themselves as well. And yeah, it's just Xixi needs to play this with a little bit more effort than his opponent, I would say. Froststorm is going to show itself. Do we have enough Dryads to deal with this? We do definitely have a lot more Dryads than normal, but we also have a good number of bears as well, so they will get like immediately melted when they show their faces, so not entirely sure about this engagement right now. 1-2-0 is at 62, meanwhile Xixi is at 57, 58. We do have Strength on the Wild being researched there. That is going to be, I think that's +1. +1 attack upgrades. Yeah, as we do have +1 armor upgrades on the way for the Dryads and Bears as well. Still producing more Druids of Claws, which I definitely don't think is the correct decision. We are still only at a handful of Crypt Fiends on the ground. Meanwhile, we have 2 Destroyers in the air as well as a Frostworm up as well. Well, as I say that, we are going to have our first A-Bomb, so maybe the Druids were a good call, I don't know. We'll just have to see if 5 Dryads is going to be enough to deal with this guy threat. Drunken Haze is going to pop down, as we do have one of the Frostworms being quickly focused down there, I believe. Oh, never mind, that was an illusion. Wow, I go completely bamboozle myself. Panda is gonna get chunked to death. He is gonna have the TV scroll being channeled there. So yeah, even though he will keep himself alive, this expansion is gonna be just abandoned completely as yeah, pulled his wisp a little too late there. Is gonna come back for another attempt at defense, but too little too late. The Tree of Life is already down. Frostworm, dangerously low, needs to be extremely careful not to get sniped since DK doesn't have enough mana. And Demon Hunter is gonna get preserved back home. Nice Breath of Fire is gonna do a good chunk to that DK, and that will force the TV scroll being used there by the Death Knight. Alrighty, I would think that 1201 won in that exchange. Expansion is going to be rebuilt once again. We do have, I think I heard more Dryads. Yeah, 2 more Dryads being added to the mix here. Definitely what I should want to be seeing, but is that going to be enough now that A-bombs are being added to the mix? I don't know. I was so convinced that that was a second Frostworm, but when it poofed, my mind just completely like glitched out there because yeah, second Frostworm would have definitely been a game changer. But we do have a second A-bomb, and that should be enough to deal with the bears, to be honest. Even if A-bombs aren't really like associated well with damage, they could at least soak the damage themselves. I don't know. We do have a Shade roaming around there. Obviously, Boneyard will indicate that a Shadow Pit is up and running as well, or Sacrificial Pit. That's a lot of destroyers. Yeah, 3 destroyers is definitely a lot more than the average. Normally, people will fly around with just 1 destroyer and transform if needed, but yikes, 3 destroyers definitely means a lot more mana is required, but yeah, even without the Orb of Annihilation, I think it could be devastating enough, I don't know. But like I said before, Xixi is now on the complete pivot into Mass Dryads. Kind of expected as much since, like, yeah, like I said before, this particular old comp is not that as high performance as it used to be. As you can see there, 2 bears immediately destroyed by the Frostworm and destroyers. Frostworm is going to retreat back to about half health. Another destroyer sadly is not going to get the same treatment as the Demon Hunter gets sniped out at level 4, I believe. So yeah, huge loss there in this particular fight. 120 is up ahead, about 14 supply. Preservation staff is going to be used, but kind of have to scratch your head on that as to why it wasn't used on the Demon Hunter. Death Claw is going to get used up to heal the Crypt Fiend, as we do have just everyone that is not a Dryad being pulled back there. It seems like we did have an A-bomb getting killed off, but I mean, the more important thing is that you still have Crypt Fiends, you still have Destroyers and Frostworms in the air. Losing A-bomb is basically their job, since, you know, they are the ones that's trying to tank the damage. So yeah, Xixi is definitely not in a good place, despite transitioning into Mass Dryads. It is a bit of a weird conundrum that A-bombs are now in the picture. Should have definitely gone into Giants instead of Bears. A bit more modern take on the Night Elf comp, but yeah, this is... I mean, it's hard to judge because we have Demon Hunter out as well, so the front line can't really be mitigated with Force of Nature, as we do have a nice Fork Lightning to just kill off the Demon Hunter who just came back to life, and that is going to be that. Yeah, I guess that's why we don't actually see Night Elf being played this way anymore, but yeah, it is a sad reality. I do definitely like the Demon Hunter more than the Keeper, but oh well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys again next time.